Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are pushing right to the absolute edge of modern infrastructure. We're unpacking part 10 of a fantastic 12-part tutorial series called The Modern Data Center, Networking in the AI Age. This comes to us from Virtualization Options LLC, which is a really sharp technology research and advisory organization out of Colorado. Now, we are strictly focusing on Chapter 10 today, which tackles a massive, and I mean massive, bottleneck: advanced traffic management. Because here's the thing, when you build a multi-million-dollar AI cluster, the sheer chaos of that data will absolutely break a traditional network. So let's figure out how to stop that from happening. Okay, let's quickly run through our syllabus for today's explainer. We'll start with AI's chaotic traffic profile, then look at taming the elephant flows, move on to the ECMP polarization problem, figure out routing around traffic jams, and finally, we'll tackle the threat of incast. All right, part 1, AI's chaotic traffic profile. You know, when we think about your standard enterprise network, we usually picture these nice, steady, predictable streams of web requests or database queries. But AI traffic, it's a completely different beast. It is a highly volatile mix of extremes, and they are all competing for the exact same resources. Network engineers actually divide this traffic into two camps: elephants and mice. Elephant flows are your massive data transfers. We're talking checkpoint saves, huge dataset loads, KV cache transfers. They carry hundreds of gigabytes and take anywhere from seconds to minutes to finish. On the total opposite end of the spectrum, you have mice flows. These are tiny, lightning-fast communications, like remote procedure calls or small gradient parameter updates. They complete in literal microseconds, and they are incredibly sensitive to even the slightest delay. And honestly, this right here is where our first huge problem pops up. Think of your network like a shared highway. Your elephant flows are these massive, slow-moving convoys of wide load trucks, and the mice flows are tiny, high-speed sports cars. In a shared fabric network, those elephants just take up all the space. They completely monopolize the switch buffers, so because the buffers get stuffed with gigabytes of elephant data, all those critical, highly latency-sensitive mice flows just get completely stuck in traffic behind them. And when those small gradient messages are forced to wait in a queue, they miss their latency targets, and your incredibly expensive AI training job just grinds to a halt. So, Section 2, taming the elephant flows. Well, we obviously can't just ban the elephants, right? We kind of need them to save our checkpoints. So how do we fix this buffer monopoly? The real hero here is a class of algorithms known as AFD, or approximate fair dropping. Essentially, this is an adaptive, flow-based scheduling and buffer management system. Instead of treating every packet equally, AFD acts like a really smart dynamic traffic cop. It actually monitors the sizes of the flows as they pass through the switch, and then it applies totally different buffer allocation policies depending on whether it's dealing with a massive elephant or a tiny mouse. And the way AFD works its magic under the hood is super clever. It dynamically forces those large flows to use smaller per-flow buffer allocations, and it applies earlier explicit congestion notification, or ECN marking. Basically, it strongly incentivizes the elephant flows to just slow down a little bit and yield some of that precious buffer space. And the craziest part, it doesn't require any explicit manual flow classification at the ingress point. The algorithm just infers the flow size by watching hardware byte counts, and it manages to do all of this at line rate with almost zero ASIC overhead. It's brilliant. By slightly penalizing the largest flows, the network makes sure those highly sensitive mice flows get near optimal latency. Moving right along to Section 3, the ECMP polarization problem. Okay, so with the elephants and mice finally playing nicely together, let's look at a really specific trap in traditional networking architecture. And I want to pose this directly to you, especially if you're a seasoned IT pro. We have relied on equal cost multipath, or ECMP routing, for years, right? It's how we balance loads across our data centers. So why does this incredibly trusted standard enterprise tool suddenly fall flat on its face when we introduce AI training traffic? It all comes down to how ECMP actually makes its routing decisions. Standard ECMP looks at a packet's 5-tuple. That's your source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port, and protocol. Then it hashes that info to pick a path. But here's the catch. In an AI training collective, all those gradient synchronization flows between the same pair of GPUs, they share the exact same 5-tuple. Because the signature is identical, the ECMP math literally forces all of that massive traffic to hash to the exact same spine switch. You end up with a severe, localized traffic jam on one spine, while your other parallel spine switches are just sitting there completely idle. We call this polarization, and it is a massive, massive bottleneck. Section 4, routing around traffic jams. Since polarization is basically a statistical inevitability in a large GPU cluster, we have to bypass standard ECMP.
Network architects generally look at two modern choices to route around these jams. First up is packet spraying. Now, this is your brute force method. It ignores the five-tuple entirely and just sprays individual packets across every single available path. Boom, polarization is completely eliminated. But the trade-off? It's messy. Packets arrive totally out of order, which requires some pretty heavy hardware reordering by the receiver. Or you need to deploy advanced Ultra Ethernet standard equipment. The alternative is adaptive routing, which is a much more elegant approach. It actively monitors congestion on every path and dynamically reroutes flows away from the jams. It skips that heavy out-of-order delivery overhead, but still balances the load way better than static ECMP. As an architect, you've really got to weigh these trade-offs based on what your hardware can actually handle.
Finally, Section 5, the threat of incast. So now we arrive at our last and, frankly, most dangerous AI traffic phenomenon from Chapter 10, incast congestion. This is an absolute nightmare for network engineers running AI workloads. Because AI training relies on these barrier-synchronized collective operations, you get these moments where a compute phase finishes and suddenly dozens, maybe hundreds of GPUs all try to blast data to the exact same destination switchboard at the exact same millisecond. This massive simultaneous microburst completely overwhelms the port buffers instantly. The resulting dropped packets or pause frames, they can stall a multi-million-dollar training job in a heartbeat.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, I have network monitoring tools. I'll just keep an eye out for this. But think about this standard metric for a second. 5 minutes. That is the default polling cycle for traditional SNMP tools used in most legacy environments. Every 5 minutes, it politely asks the switch, hey, how are things going?
But as the source material for today's starkly points out, in an AI training fabric, the dominant performance issues are transient events lasting microseconds to milliseconds. An incast microburst happens, overwhelms your buffer, completely stalls the GPU cluster, and then it vanishes in a fraction of a second. A polling tool that only checks in every 5 minutes, it's going to completely miss it. It might show a tiny, barely perceptible blip on your average utilization graph, while in reality, your actual training throughput is just being absolutely decimated. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to wrap up our explainer today. If your legacy telemetry cannot even see a microsecond stall, how will you ever know why your incredibly expensive AI cluster is just sitting there doing nothing? The hard truth is, you won't. You simply cannot manage an AI-era network with web-era tools. Upgrading to sub-second streaming telemetry, it isn't just a nice-to-have luxury anymore, it is an absolute necessity. I really hope this deep dive into Chapter 10 of Virtualization Options LLC's tutorial has given you a fresh, powerful perspective on AI traffic management. Thanks so much for joining me today on The Explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.